What's up, man? It's a tragic story, man. Maia Campbell. What can I say? Whew. Everybody has seen the video now. It's like worldwide Maia Campbell phenomenon because of this video. She was the girl everybody used to love on In the House. You know, she graduated and went to school for film and arts. She studied at Spelman University. Um, Now she's, you know, known for just doing crack. It's sad. But when she started off in the television and modeling and acting career, um, people don't understand that her mom really pushed her into these acting roles and made her, I don't want to say, created mostly her mental disorder early. She suffered from bipolarism. She would just snap in any moment of a time because her mom grew up very independent fashion woman, and and she wanted to be just like her mom. Her mom was beautiful and could do all these things, but she was very distant and kind of cold when it came to dealing with her daughter. So when BB Moore was you know coming up, she was trying to save her daughter, but at the same time, she just wanted to be accepted. The daughter did. She just wanted to get the approval of her parent and her mother. How many times have we heard or seen that before? So it's a common denominator when you see the two factor into each other. So that in a rush, Maya didn't listen to her stepfather. She felt like he always knew, like, it's just a matter of time before she goes down this road of failure at everything she does. So she feels mentally she's a failure. She just starts to disintegrate. And you start seeing the absence of anything in her eyes. But when Maia Campbell was doing In the House, she was on top of the world. She had a show. She was feeling great. Once that show ended, she had no direction after that. She decided to get married to this guy, Elias. She was hanging out in the LA scenes and the party scenes. And when she was coming up, her and Reagan Gomez from the Robert Townsend show, the family show with him, and that show was excellent about fatherhood, about parents, and a great black family show. And then you had this show here. They were two polar opposites. This was more the young teenage, whatever you want to call it, type structural family, all staying in the house or whatever, and more hip, where the Robert Townsend show was more adult. And Reagan maturity level was a lot higher than what Mia's was. And even though they were in the same age bracket of child actor, and they both married pretty much young, Reagan's marriage was more stable, where hers was out of more defiance. And this is who I want to be with. We're gonna have a kid. We're having a kid together, and she wasn't ready to be a mom. Mia wasn't, and trying to not knowing about her career, and she just got turned down. She had an audition for a part. She lost it to Megan Good a number of times because Megan had a lot of connections in the game at the time, and plus her erratic behavior at one of the auditions caused a lot of people red flags. So She started hanging around doing escort jobs, and it started from there. Drugs, little weed, little coke, then that turns into crack. And now you're doing pills and everything else. So your addiction to being in the mix, being in the parties, you're not having to pay for anything there. You got sugar daddies, and then you don't have a husband who's mentally capable of being a family man. That's another problem. So your daughter's growing up in the same environment that you were trying to escape with your life, with your mom, that you was probably saying to yourself, I would never do this to my child. Now you see she's doing that to her daughter. Now she's pushing her daughter away, dealing with her own mess. But she's forgetting she's a mother, and your daughter don't understand what you're going through because you haven't explained anything to her because she's too young, you feel, for her to understand. So you're repeating the same cycle that your mom did. You felt her absence of not paying attention to you when you needed that attention. And so when her mom passed away and she wasn't around for those days, it impacted her enough to change her life, to get better, to do things. And I thought she was doing great. In 2013, TV One was gonna put her in a couple of episodes on some shows. She had cleaned herself up, and they had really taken to her to say, "Oh my God, you poor baby, come back in," and Black Hollywood accepted her. They were ready to do projects with her, and Maia Campbell was going to be known forever as the comeback story. Then they sent her from LA to Atlanta to escape the madness so that she wouldn't have to be reminded of the madness of LA. And what she did when she went to Atlanta was just get buck wild crazy. As the years went by, she just gave up and went down another spiral. And she became distant again. And now this video surfaces, and it was like, oh my God. Oh my God. Why? How? And addiction is a full-time disease. It doesn't take a day off. It continues. And what we're seeing here is a prime example of what happens when you take your hand off and think they got it. She has a sickness. And it's a shame how her career has turned out, her life has turned out. I just hope she gets herself back together, you know, and oh man, it's just sad. It really is. She was the girl everybody had so much hope on. Mm, it's just tragic. I don't even want to talk about this no more. I'm gonna depress myself just thinking about it. There's a lot of other people that were connected in this situation who were innocent, but see, this is what I mean by innocent crimes. You're helping enable somebody, from they have a problem, but you really helping the problem exist instead of saying something like, I'm not going to be a part of it. You're like, look, I want to party, she want to party, let's go. You're not thinking about the damage of that person. You really didn't care. That's the way I look at it. People, because now people that was like, no, I care, she was my friend. I'm just going to leave that alone. I'm out.